tienen clavos, salgan allá, este el bulto rojo. Hasta esta mata aquí. Hasta esa mata.
Open your damn mouth.
Morning, guys. The Vault 500. This is day 10. We out here even though it's drizzling. Systems, y'all. Whenever you have someone that's successful at anything, they always use a system for that success, no matter what you're talking about, you know. Systems, we're talking about systems, you know. Regardless, if you're trying to do something next level, you need a system, you know. Like I was watching a video yesterday of an influencer who was saying that he posts a certain amount of videos every day or every week in order for him to build his platform, you know. And that's a system. That's a system that he's using, that a lot of influencers use. You know, the Kai Cenats and everybody. Kai Cenat, when he was starting out, he would stream every day for a couple of hours. And then he started doing those subathons, stuff like that. And that's what took him to the next level, you know? So you gotta use systems in order to, systems and automation is really important. It makes things a lot easier, removes a lot of headaches. One system that I use, where I'm using AI, is Riverside FM. Riverside FM is a platform that you can use for podcasting. And basically it helps you, once you upload your video, it helps you break it up. It helps you put captions on it. And it breaks it up. You can put one video up and it'll break it up into like 6 different videos. You know, it's helpful when you're podcasting because you can use Riverside FM to record your podcast or whatever, your interview, whatever you're doing. And then you can upload it to Riverside, and Riverside will break it up for you. Riverside FM will break it up into a lot of different videos for you. So that's something that I use. Something that I use, which is easy. It's called Riverside FM. And I used that for years for podcasting. So you can check out some of those things. But speaking of systems, YouTube is changing some of their rules and stuff as far as no face content where you're not using your face. And I know that's gonna hurt a lot of people because a lot of people have built up faceless channels, and YouTube is cutting back on faceless channels or lazy channels, I guess you can say. People that just want to use AI to create content. So YouTube is cutting back on those type of channels. So you're gonna have to create, old-fashioned content. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to make much money on YouTube, right? So that's something new that's happening. And the reason why I bring it up is because you're gonna need to use systems. You're gonna need to have systems in place to do high quality content. Creating high quality content is not an easy thing. Let me see if this screen is gonna work. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah. So creating high quality content is not an easy thing. And if YouTube is cutting back on faceless channels, and if you've created a faceless channel and you're trying to create content, it's not going to be good for you. So learning automation, learning how to create content quickly, learning how to create a lot of content in a short period of time is going to really help you as far as your channel is concerned, because of those new rules and regulations that are coming out on YouTube. So definitely learn some automation. That's what we're talking about today, is systems and automation. And Riverside FM is something that I use to make quick content, which I may not be doing anymore. I use an app called InShot. InShot is a really cool app. If you're on the go and you shoot some content outside, or you want to make some quick content, you can do like a voiceover, grab an image and do like a voiceover type of thing. You could do that pretty easily with InShot. So, but yeah, these new YouTube rules are gonna affect a lot of people. My channel isn't totally faceless, like I do stuff, live streams, and I have a lot of content that I'm gonna create with my face, so it's not gonna really affect me so much. But there are a lot of channels out there that are faceless channels that are gonna be affected by the new rules. So yeah, guys, make sure you develop some sort of system, whatever it is you're trying to do. AI helps you automate things. If you don't have a system, man, you're gonna get burnt out. That's the bottom line. If you don't have a system with what you're doing. And that's why I created the Vault 500. So it's pretty much a system in itself, right? Because not only am I streaming, right, but at the same time, every day I'm talking about something different, a different topic. And I'm learning myself. I'm learning along the way. I'm learning about consistency and the importance of just getting up and making things happen. Just get up and make it happen. And have a system, regardless. Even soccer players, They teach a certain system. They get up in the morning and they go to practice and they practice their foot drills. Basketball players practice their jump shot. They practice their ball handling. You know, if you're into cybersecurity, you go and you read the cybersecurity news, right? You get up, you read the cybersecurity news, updates on different things, how hackers are using AI to get into systems. You get online and you learn new things, and that's how you get better. Because you're learning more, you're adjusting to the times, and you're getting better at what you do. So that's a system that everyone uses. Everyone you need some sort of system in order to get to the next level, you know? So, yeah, you know, a system that I use Notion. I'm always on here talking about Notion, which I'm using Notion right now because one of my goals is to get a CompTIA certification. I want to work in cybersecurity soon. So I'm using Notion right now. Notion, Notion, Notion. It's an app. I'm using that right now to learn cybersecurity. And that's one of my personal goals. One of my personal goals that I have. So, talking about systems today. Appreciate you guys, all you guys for tapping in. No longer using comments. We had a lot of people spamming and saying silly stuff. So, I want to develop an audience that's serious about learning and serious about taking their careers and their lives to the next level. That's what I'm looking for. And grow and learn. And we're gonna phase out those people, the spammers, and we're gonna keep them off the platform. You know, sometimes giving people a lot of access to you doesn't work. And I saw Kevin Gates did an interview one time, and he was talking about his mental health and saying that he gives people too much access to him. And he has a good point. Certain people you can't give access to because they don't know what to do with it. They don't appreciate it. So sometimes you got to limit the people that you give access to. And that's in any space, whether you're talking about your personal space, whether you're talking about personal relationships, business relationships. When you give people too much access, it's not good. So what we want to do is develop an audience of people. What I want to do is develop an audience of people that want to learn, now that are really serious about taking things to the next level. And if you really want to talk to me and chat with me, there's links in the link section where you can get in contact with me. But otherwise, we're here. I'm here to Vault 500, streaming every day for 500 days straight. And we're gonna still talk about different things every day. You know, today I didn't feel like getting up this morning. You know, I have a lot of things to do today, and sometimes you don't know where to start when you have a lot of things to do. And I didn't want to do this today, but I got up and I did it anyway because I said, you know, I'm starting something that can be very powerful in the future. You know, and it's gonna be a way for people to go back and look at old videos and see how I grew, see how the platform grew. And the Vault 5, that's what the Vault 500 is all about. It's all about growth. It's all about learning. And you know, we're still early in the 500. We're only on day 10, but by the time we get to day 500, my life is gonna be totally different. Totally different. By the time we get to 500, you know, I'm gonna be in a different space mentally, physically, financially, and you're gonna see me grow. You're gonna see the platform grow, and it's gonna be a really dope experience. And my goal is to build a school, and I'm gonna have a class, the Vault 500, and talk about my experience from everything, from the spammers, the trollers, talk about everything. So the Vault 500 is not just a stream, it's gonna be a course. I'm gonna turn it into a course because by the time we get to the end, there's gonna be a lot that I learned about people, a lot that I learned about myself, getting up here every day and doing this. And we're doing this together, you know what I mean? So I appreciate those that tapped in. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Those that tapped in, that's tapping in. Again, it's the Vault 500, streaming 500 days straight, talking about different topics. Today we're talking about systems. And it's been an experience, you guys. Definitely been an experience, you know. But it's definitely important to use systems, regardless of what you're trying to do. Let's just go into a system that worked for me in general. A system that worked for me building my company, man. That's a good one. Consistency, man. Consistency is a system. I got up and I did a lot of interviews and stuff like that. Even when I didn't feel like getting up and going to do the interviews, we did the interviews. We ended up creating some viral content. And just from working hard and coming up with different ideas, we ended up creating viral content. You can kind of go to my most popular video section, I guess, and check those out. Should be there. And when we created the viral content, we started getting attention. But the reason why we got to a point where we had viral content is because we were being consistent. We had a system where we were constantly creating content. So I didn't really have a goal of how many interviews or anything I was doing. I was just like, we need to get a certain amount of interviews and a certain amount of content done weekly, you know. So I was doing maybe 3 videos a week, 3 or 4 videos a week. That was the goal. So when we didn't do interviews, I had the idea to create documentaries. So I wanted to follow the life of my partner. I wanted to create like a documentary style type of thing. And we did. So that gave us more content that we could upload when we didn't have interviews or we didn't have animated stuff that we did. That's basically the system that I use to build my company. Is just consistency and trying to come up with creative ideas. So if I had to put that into a system, I would say have meetings with your team or have meetings with people that you're trying to do business with. Meetings and just sit there and come up with new ideas. You know, me and my business partner at the time used to meet every day, or we would talk on the phone every day about ideas. And that was our system. We had a system and we didn't even know. We were young in our 20s. We didn't know that we had a system, but we developed it because we were talking on the phone every day, coming up with ideas for different things. That's a system. When you have a partner that you can meet with every day, not everybody has that. Some people are trying to do everything by themselves. And it works for some people. But when you can get with like-minded people, it really helps to get things done next level. It's hard to do a lot of things by yourself, you know. When I started out, luckily I had a business partner, but it's really hard starting doing things by yourself, you know. So anybody that's trying to start a business or become successful at anything, try to find like-minded people. Even if you're not doing business with them, just go and talk with people that are trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. Because your circle is 100% of the effort that you're trying to go. You know, I don't know if that made sense. Your circle is your net worth, you know? So the people that you bring in your circle, those are gonna be the people that help you go to the next level, right? So you can do it by yourself. I'm not saying you can't. I see a lot of people doing big things by themselves. They have their own system. They created their own system. You know, that's what we're talking about today, systems. And they went and they were consistent and they made some big things happen by themselves. But what I'm saying is, it's hard to do things by yourself. But the great thing about AI is AI made it easy to have a system. So you don't have to do everything by yourself if you're trying to do something by yourself, you know what I mean? And you don't have at least one other person with the same goal as you, you know? AI has made that a little bit easier, but you still need people. You still need people. So yeah, guys, what's up? Talking about systems. Um, so yeah, even, doing things by yourself, you're gonna need a system in place even more so. You know, whatever that system is. You know what I'm saying? Morning, guys. Just talking a bit about systems today. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Thank you for the likes. What's going on, people? Appreciate y'all. We're talking about systems today. So whatever system, everyone needs a different type of system for what they're trying to do. I talked about some of the systems that I've used, but especially if you're trying to do something and you're by yourself. If you're trying to start a business and you're doing it alone, you definitely need some sort of system. A lot of people talk about the systems that they use on social media. You can find a lot of influencers and stuff like that. They talk about the different systems that they use, but some people say, I post 2 videos every day, or, I stream for such and such hours every day, or if you're, a basketball player, you train every day, every morning, you get up 4 o'clock in the morning, you shoot your drills, or you practice your jump shot, or whatever. There has to be some sort of system in place for you to get to the next level. And that's basically how we all get to the next level, with some sort of system. So make sure you have that in place. That's what we talked about today, man. Appreciate you guys. About to end the stream. Appreciate all you guys for tapping in today. This is the Vault 500, day 10. If you guys don't know, I'm actually new to streaming. I've only been streaming consistently for a little over a month. So I'm still learning about the streaming, and it takes a lot of consistency, you know. So if you don't know, haven't been following me, I created something called 30 days, 30 streams. What up, guys? Thanks for tapping in. About to end the stream. Appreciate you guys. Today we talked about systems, and I talked about some of the systems that I use for success and some of the systems that I've seen other people use. This is the Vault 500. I'm streaming 500 days straight. If you didn't follow me before, I was streaming. I had something called 30 days, 30 streams. It's my first time streaming, you know, to keep me motivated to keep streaming for 30 days straight. I did it, and now we're doing the Vault 500, where I'm streaming 500 days straight. And basically, hopefully, I'm gonna turn it into a business course at my school. I'm building a school right now. For those that don't know, I'm a teacher, professor, whatever you want to call me. Some people call me professor. And I'm building my own school. And the Vault 500 will be a course. And I'm going to talk about my experience streaming every day, the things that I learned, the things that I talked about, especially systems. Having a system is something that's really important. So this is King. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. The Vault 500, day 10. We talked about systems, which is really important for anyone's success, whether you're a basketball player, doctor, lawyer, engineer, technology enthusiast. Having some sort of system to learn and go to the next level is really important. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning, hopefully at around 7. Appreciate you guys. See you then.